Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Lookout stream. We are doing the reveals, we are doing the ban list, the Errata cards. Thank you guys for coming, and welcome everybody. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Are we supposed to talk
from
now?
Belgium.
Yeah, Martin from Zagreb.
Charlie from the UK.
It's great to have you guys here. I mean, it's really a pleasure to do this for the third time in a row now. The third week of amazing reveals. So shall we get onto it quickly? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, first of all, we'll do the reveals. We got red and yellow cards, so we'll cover that first. And let's go. The first card is our Yamcha leader. So, who wants to comment first, guys?
Yeah, honestly, I don't. Yeah, sorry. Please, no. Please do, Charlie.
I used to play Yamcha back in set 5, back when Red Aggro was running around. I enjoyed that leader, and I thoroughly believe that I'll enjoy this leader. I think his whole archetype is all around burn damage and quick aggro, attacking battle cards in active mode. They found ways to bring back the 5-drop, the 3-drop Yamcha. Is it at 100%? I think that's what it's called.
Yes.
Good card. I like the Wolfang Fist card that they brought out with that. I think it really helps red decks out a lot. I'm really liking the direction that Mono Red's taking. I think this leader's one of the reasons why it's making a bit of a comeback.
Indeed, red has received burn boosts all around, and which is something I'm satisfied to hear, because in the beginning we actually lacked that archetype, and now it's flourishing. Always an interesting thing, an interesting addition.
I always wanted to play the Yamcha at 100%, so I can say that I'm playing this game at 100%. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, boost 100%. I like this leader maybe a bit more than the original leader. First of all, because it awakens at 5 or less, so that's actually one of the upper advantages. Secondly, although it doesn't give the ability for your battle cards to attack in active mode, other battle cards in active mode, for example, the Yamcha at 100%. There are other ways and other cards that give you the same ability so that the battle cards can attack other in active mode. And this just gives you the extra burn damage that maybe the old Yamcha didn't have. So I like this one better than the original, and hopefully it will be even more fun to play.
It might be. So, before we move on to the other card, I would just like to mention, if you really like our content, and I hope you do, we also have Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube, which you are already here. So please contact us and talk to us on these channels as well. Everything is below, so please join us everywhere if you like it. Okay.
Yeah, like it all.
So guys, shall we move on to the next card? The next leader? It's Pilaf. Charlie is excited here, I see.
The day has come, I finally got a Shu leader, and I can say that one day I will try and top a tournament with Shu. No, I've played around with the Pilaf archetype on Untap. It's very quick, swapping cards in and out of the battlefield. Like, I think one time I got 7 or 8 attacks off one turn because of the triple attack card, which we'll come to later. The fact that they're unique is something that I believe they had to make with this archetype, because if not, you could have just kept spamming all these cards out, and people would have been calling for an errata on them to say that there can only be 1 per turn. So the unique ability is good for these. I like the triple attack effect that they have on the Unawakened side, and I really do think that this is one of the definitions of a red aggro deck, and who'd thought it would have come in the Pilaf game.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, and red archetypes and everything. The next card is Sin Shenron, Unison of Calamity. Really...
Yeah, so this is the card that I was actually referring to when I said that Yamcha gets actually a buff. So this allows all the other even older cards to just attack other battle cards that are active mode. The Gohans from the expansion pack, which deal damage when attacking the battle card. Even the old super rare Gohan from set 2, but I believe he can already attack cards in active mode. But nevertheless, Sin Shenron is definitely something that gives Yamcha 100% more chance, and the leader, the new Yamcha leader, just buffs it for the extra third damage while attacking, for example, a single 5k card.
Exactly, and if that's not enough, all of your 15,000 power cards are in jeopardy because the +1 ability just clears them off the board. It's actually a
Yeah,
terrific card.
and
Any
maybe
card... Go on.
I'm sorry. Maybe the more important thing about Sin Shenron is that you can actually look at your opponent's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Card knowledge is crucial here, and
Holding
maybe
your
that's
counter.
something that Red was missing and will abuse with this Sin Shenron.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, hand knowledge. We know how important hand knowledge is getting actually in this game, and we've seen what kind of damage a Broly Crown of Contribution has done. I mean, in any deck, I mean that's just such a powerful card. We know that Invoker can easily beat you just because they know your hand. They can drop your all of your negates from your hand. Yeah, Vinci, I mean you,
I know.
and well, you've all been a victim of that from one or even more times. So, but yeah,
true.
that's all I had to say about this one.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this is one of the best cards in the game with the ability to look into your opponent's hand, considering Broly can only work if your opponent has 2 or energy standing up. They can easily tap down 2 energies to counterplay it, therefore the effect won't go off and they can activate that. Foreseeing hit can easily be got around right now because it doesn't have deflect, so you can easily counterplay that with like a denial of hope or a preemptive strike or something like that. The Gogeta one from the Dash pack, that's just, in my opinion, not a great card. But with this, the ability to do it on turn 3 and the fact you can do it in the same turn as the effect to wipe 2 of your opponent's battle cards, in my opinion, I think this is one of the better cards to look in your opponent's hand with.
Exactly. You got all these abilities in one, and it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We shouldn't drool over this card anymore because we have a lot of work to cover still. So the next one, Vegeta Elite Unison. The next.
I think we've seen
one.
this card before as well, right? What was revealed in the beginning, or
Yeah, this was
am I
one of the
wrong?
first reveals
Yeah.
for the set 10 at all.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
yes, but
Yeah.
still, it's a red card.
It's an
Unison card,
uncommon.
so.
I mean, yeah, you can see it's not a super rare because it's not really that good. Only one effect that removes or adds markers. I wouldn't give it. I wouldn't put this in my decks. Actually, there are much better red unison cards.
Yes, exactly. It's limited. You cannot
Yeah.
pump the numbers anymore, and it just burns up too quickly.
I think so.
Yeah. Moving on then. Son Goku bursting with energy.
Yeah,
Oh,
this one I like mainly because he's Son Goku childhood, and
yeah.
I know that, for example, I know that the red skillless archetype with the vanilla one drop Son Goku was not as effective as, for example, the blue or the yellow skillless variant, but this might actually give the red skillless archetype a comeback because you can attack the leader, you can attack the Unison card afterwards. That's basically 2 attacks. You can self-awaken, and he's just another Son Goku childhood that the Android 8 can use. It's a marvelous card.
Like
I believe.
Bringing skillless back in a way in style.
True.
I mean, I agree with that
Yeah.
because I used to play the red variant of the skillless. I liked the fact that it had a lot of interaction with the Eta card, but I also like the combination with the one drop Chi-Chi. So I feel like that could work well with it and be able to draw and get this out from your deck very easily, take a life. So essentially, you're plussing 2 because
Yeah.
you're getting one from the draw, one from your life.
Exactly.
I think this could be a
You
really
need
good
to you need to keep in mind that Chi-Chi says that you need to search your deck for a card named Son Goku, a red one drop named Son Goku. It doesn't state Son Goku childhood, but rather it has only that single target, the skillless vanilla Son
It can't
Goku, the
find
red
this card.
card. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
Chichi
can't.
says search your deck for one drop red Son Goku,
Ah.
and with the with the
Current
symbols that
are different.
implicate the card name, not the character name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But still, you have the four Adventure Begins, the four skillless Red Gokus, which
has to
can
be
be
a red,
searched
doesn't
via Chi-Chi, and you have actually up to four of these Son Gokus, which are Self-Awakeners. You have 12 Goku childhoods you can use with the Android 21. I mean, the deck might be then a bit clunky. You will need to work with the numbers to fit everything because Chi-Chi and the skillless one drops are 8 cards. Four of this would be 12 red cards, just so you can have the Aider chain, which is clunky. But I think this might work because it's kind of fun. It's cute.
Okay.
Okay. We have more Yamcha. Yamcha Merciless Barrage.
The
A
SR.
counterplay card.
The
Mhm.
Merciless.
The
And it's
Merciless
No,
Barrage.
amazing that he comes in for free. You know, if you have a red unison card that costs 2 or more markers, which you will most likely always have, and you're minusing your opponent's cards, so there are not that many cards that can attack your unison. It's just I think it's a wonderful card.
it's excellent that even if your opponent has boss monsters, I mean cards with higher power, you can just decrease the power and then attack with other battle cards those boss monsters or something that was sitting on the field. You're just giving in enough minus power so that you can attack freely. It's excellent.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's another 15k body which enters the play for free.
Exactly. Who would say Yamcha would be such a badass in this day and age, huh?
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but keep in mind this is still the Yamcha before Dragon Ball Z, so
Yeah,
that
true.
Yamcha was kind of a badass. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Well, speaking of Yamcha, here's more of him. Yamcha the
The
Desert
Desert
Hyena.
Hyena.
Oh my God, this card would have been almost perfect if it had Victory Strike, but this Triple Strike is just plain, bonkers. How Yamcha,
I know.
he's so strong now. Actually,
Look at those muscles. Look at this triple strike.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's basically always he's always able to attack, to restand himself, to protect itself. So you attack, you leave it in rest mode. Your opponent wants to, I don't know, use a counter attack either on your turn, a counter card, maybe on your counter play battle card on his turn. You just get to switch Yamcha to active mode and keep him safe for another turn. But the fact that he can basically gain a lot of power, so he's 30k by default if your leader is red, and then he gains plus 10. He's a 40k triple strike when he meets the requirements.
Hmm.
True.
Okay.
Moving on to some Animal Farm cards. Bulma the Bunny Girl.
When one of your red Earthlink cards, other than Bulma card, is removed, I see a perfect synergy with the Vegeta here. Vegeta from set 8, that is red and yellow, and he's a double striker. When this Bulma blocks something when she's gone, he comes into play. A free double striker on the field. I think that's going to work marvelously.
I
But
don't think so.
general,
Sorry, I don't
yeah.
think it will work with Vegeta because Vegeta by default. Ah, no, you mean the yellow one drop Vegeta?
I
Yeah,
mean,
Sorry, my mistake.
I think it's a 4 or 5 drop. He has double strike, and he
Yeah.
enters for free, and he kicks ass. But also, there are so many combinations with this card. I can't even begin to number them. But if you guys have any other comments, I don't want to take all the time.
I mean, for example, the Yamcha that we saw a second ago. But I mean, this is maybe the card that might bring a dead card back into play. My first instinct was Chain Attack Trunks.
Could
So
be.
it is a legal target, and Chain Attack Trunks brings something else to the field. I know he hasn't seen play because a lot of the counterplay cards recently, but maybe this will give it another chance in life because you can just spam extra cards. Other than that, this is just a nice card to have even in the Bulma Earthling deck.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, moving
And
on. to
I
Oolong
think
Goku spell. Sorry, Andrea, have I
yeah,
interrupted?
no. I'm saying we're almost at the end with the red cards, and what best way
True.
to almost end them with Oolong? Yeah, basically it's a rare, but it replaces itself in your hand, and it pumps your unison. So just a very good defense. Sometimes it's okay if you don't have a blocker, you have this. If you don't have a negate, you have this. It's just a free plus 10k for your. Actually, it's only activate battle, so you will not be able to defend your unison. I see it now. Okay, so it's only for attacking with your unison, not defending.
Well,
I mean, it's good to
basically.
go for a game if you're using the peel off leader and you
Right.
pitch that card,
Mm.
give it 10k extra, and it has triple attack. It could work really well.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
Pilaf is in the next image.
Yes, Pilaf is the Pilaf machine ostrich form. So blocker card.
I mean, he enters play even with his active main, and if I'm not mistaken, with the rare Pilaf Shuen and my machine, the Pilaf machine master bot. He also at least places it into the hand and plays it. Yeah. So there are definitely ways to just go up the chain with this with the Pilaf machine archetype, and then again play this one as well.
Yes, exactly, and it bolsters the burn archetype, so it just might work. We also have another Pilaf card next, although not a battle card, the Pilaf Missile, a counterplay card.
I'm not sold on it. You still have to have all your mono red energies. You still have to discard 2 cards to play the card, and the effect is I think a bit mediocre.
To me, this was like Hidden Power of the Saints for green.
Yeah.
Like, you have the choice to play this, or you have the choice to play Preemptive Strike. Now with this, it's do you want to play Denial of Hope, or do you want to play this? I see reasons to play this because you can give your leader a boost for the turn, which is good against decks like Gohan. Giving your leader any chance of a boost is good. But the permanent skill to discard 2 cards from your hand to activate it, how many people are really going to do that unless they've got cards to waste?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit of an
if I'm not mistaken, Beerus Ball actually does almost the identical thing. I'm not sure if Beerus Ball even gives the plus 5k to the leader.
Beerus Ball, you have to be below 4 life.
But is the effect identical?
I think one of the only differences with this is your leader doesn't have to be red. Like the other 2 requires your leader to be red. This can be red in anything.
True, and also let's say if you play let's say a Bulma deck where you draw a lot of cards, this can actually help. So it's it's good. It's good. You don't even need red energy. You basically just play the card and red cards in your to tap. You basically need to have all of them mono red, nothing else. Just draw.
Depending on the deck, depending on the leader, it will definitely be either Beerus Ball or Pilaf Missile.
True.
Yeah.
Missile.
And for the final red card, we finish up with Yamcha, a counter-attack Yamcha Wolfang Fist card.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Same. Ignoring barrier. When I say ignoring barrier, it's just amazing.
Exactly.
It doesn't stop the attack, but it definitely can give you advantage because it is a free card to play.
And it is leader card. Imagine playing this against Gohan. You basically minus him by 15, and he cannot triple attack you for that amount of damage that he was supposed to. So
it's too many cards wasted for the boost. So basically, you destroy 2 attacks. I mean 3 attacks.
And it basically doesn't cost you anything. This card.
Exactly. Okay, and let's move on. Now we have the yellow cards, and we're starting with the Gotenks leader.
I think this is their second attempt at the yellow Broly leader.
Yes, this might be the new generic yellow leader, which might work with everything.
You can use the Gotenks
mainly because
if you want. You can use you can use it for successor. The ability to draw upon the activation of an extra card, for example, again Gohan. They swing, they activate Feet Kamehameha, that you can boost your hand though, so even if you do want to take the crit, you've got a bigger hand advantage. So I'm saying this isn't a bad lead at all.
Yeah.
I'd really like to play with this.
Yeah.
It could really be interesting. That's true. And
hmm
if we're done with this one, we have another leader, the Sim Shenron leader.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we
getting
see
Bojack
the
vibes.
front side. I actually played against this today, so I'm really happy I can report on it immediately because it really
Nice.
surprised me because I was playing a variant of Jiren Hand Destroy made a combination with the green, but anyway, this when they started dropping cards from his hand, I actually saw that he wants some of the cards to be in his drop area, but also he had enough yellow energy to play the cards that we will see very very soon, and to kind of surprise me with how many battle cards can be on his field at the same time, and he doesn't actually need extra cards even. I will tell a bit later why. All of his battle cards do such amazing effects that he doesn't need to play extra cards apart from negates, of course. So I'm very happy that I actually tried to play against this, and I think it's going to be a very very good leader.
Exactly. And
I think it's hard.
yeah, Charlie, go on.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do
I'd
it.
say it's hard to report.
Okay, ladies first.
Oh, thank you, my darling. Anyway, it's hard to report on this when all the cards haven't been released for it. That's the thing, because there's only one
That's the
star and
thing
two
I
star.
wanted to say. Okay, go on. Exactly.
Like we've got Haze Shenron, we've got Sin Shenron. We still need Oceana Shenron. We still need Nova Shenron. We still need Ice Shenron. Can't remember what the other two. Was it one more? I can't remember off the top of my head. But I can't remember what they were called. But still, we need to know the other effects of all the cards and if it's worth paying 6 energy to bring out all these cards. And they could all be counted at the same time, depending on which ones have deflect, which ones don't. And
Yeah, and depending maybe on which cost of the battle card you want to play. So let's say you want to play 6 of the 4-drop cards. Hidden potential might mess all of them at once because it's the same counter window for all of them, and basically it doesn't target just one, but every battle card that is being played in the same counterplay window. At least that's how I understood everything. I believe I might be correct. But yeah, the funny thing is that even though not all of the dragons have been revealed so far, and that's a bummer to release a main leader for the set and not have all the cards in the set in the same set, but we still received 6 different Shadow Dragon cards. So 2 1-drops, 2 of the medium cards, so the 3 and 4-drop, and 2 big monsters.
Exactly.
I think the final effect could be good if we get an Omega Shenron SCR, which I'm predicting we will, because all of the ones that are his shape are Sin Shenron. We have not got an
Mhm.
Omega yet, and I think just like SS4 Vegeta was in set 8, I think this is a prelude to what SCR we're getting.
That's a good
Yeah.
prediction, and you are probably right. Yes. Okay, moving
We
on. We're
will,
done.
we will see.
Yeah, we're done with the leaders. Going on to the next 3 Unison cards. The first one is Super Saiyan Broly Legendary Unison.
Yeah, we've seen this one. I think also in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
of the reveals, and it's an uncommon. I don't really like that it doesn't get a counter. I mean, I'm not saying that it should deserve a counter for his first effect, but I'm just saying that the card that you have to keep alive to keep alive by other effects apart from his own. I don't really like the.
Yeah,
But well,
it
it's yeah.
it gives its limitations in the start. It's not impossible, but it's definitely a
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah.
It depends how much you want to tap for it. That's the thing. Like, do you
Mhm.
want to pay 5 to keep this thing on a high counter cost? I don't really think that this card is worth paying that much.
Yeah, I agree.
Not really.
Yeah, the first effective is actually the one that stands out because it ignores barrier for once per turn every turn. But the second effect, it's definitely when you need to use it. But I wouldn't spend more than maybe 3 energies for this card if I were to play this.
Yes, and it's basically just to keep it alive from attacks in order to use the first effect, probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe with the Bulma leader, it could be useful because Bulma then gives every Saiyan and Earthling blocker.
But
We
is
might
that
need to
battle
check
card?
maybe the. But the other battle cards have blocker, which would then prevent Broly from being attacked. And you can always rest one of their cards for the turn, spam another maybe one drop Saiyan or Earthling, and then have another blocker. There might be uses for this card for sure, but we'll see.
I think the card that's coming up is much better for yellow decks.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh
Exactly.
yes.
And let's move on to it. So Super Saiyan Gogeta Dynamic Unison. There we have a good Unison card.
First of all, I love the art. I mean, it's one of the nicest things that I'll be playing in my decks, I think. And just the design of the card itself. I mean, it has a permanent effect. It has an auto effect once per turn. A great +1, which is I think for a 2 cost, so specific cost 2 yellow, so it can interact with other cards as well. It gets a +1. You choose 2 yellow cards in your hand, discard them, so you fill your drop for, I don't know, Overwhelm or different other effects. You drop your Saiyan Instincts Ape so you can warp it later. So you first draw, and you draw 2 cards with this effect. Let's say you are on turn 3, you have nothing else to do, maybe, or you're just saving energy. Maybe you want to just put your Saiyan Instincts, so Mana Sink, draw 2 more cards. There's just so many easy ways that you can build up your hand with this card, and not to even say about the second effect that can easily stall out your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
This is
And,
great in
No,
swing
and,
decks.
and I just love the auto effect because it basically punishes your opponent for playing extra cards. If nothing else,
Absolutely.
it keeps it alive, but if nothing else, it's a nice psychological play. Should I use it? Shouldn't I use it? It makes the opponent
I,
think,
I,
and that's always
I,
good. Yes, Benzi.
yeah, and I even love the permanent effect. I mean, to just simply be able to combine your second activate main to
Benzi, are you with
Uh,
us?
Please tell me he's not gone.
I think you might have an
I think
issue.
Well, we lost him for this moment, but I'm sure he's going to reconnect. Guys, they want to
Yeah.
comment something else on the card in the meantime?
not.
No.
I think everything's been covered, hasn't it? I mean, I think this is great for Gotenks if you want to add a Unison into it. Personally, I think this is the best yellow Unison card we're going to get. I even think it's better than the next card we're about to review.
Yes, Oh, he's coming back. I just wanted to make sure. The next one is.
This is literally like Ultra Instinct, where it's like he's coming.
Yes, and just in time for Mechikabura plotting revival.
I don't
A
want to
4
tap
cost.
4 for this.
After Gogeta, it's a bit lackluster.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like the ability that when it loses a marker, you can switch an opponent's card to rest mode. Like you don't have to choose a battle card. It could be an energy that could mess up their play. So if you want to swing at this, go ahead. I can stop your plays later. But on turn 4, I think they've got most of their plays pretty much set up. I don't think that it's going to be that great.
I think it's a good trump card for, let's say, turn 5. You play this guy. It actually can be countered, and you immediately remove 4 counters. Or even if you play it on turn 4, if you want to win, or if you think you can, you steal your opponent's card and you kick his ass with it. It just depends on
Oh,
if your
Mattia, you're
opponent
back. Perfect.
tried a
yeah.
very, very big play, and then you want to steal his card and win with it potentially, or just steal it because you can. It's a good card for that because your opponent cannot stop this effect because it's a unison card coming into play. I think there aren't that many unison counters or any at all at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And next one is Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku yellow card, the Son Goku Absolute Annihilation.
I love this one.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
This is a beautiful card, a beautiful, beautiful card. Both deflect, both barrier, and
there's a
the
reason
effect
it's
is
unique.
bonkers.
Look at it.
Yeah.
This is Vegeta's
Yeah,
long lost hairier brother.
True.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they gave both deflect and barrier to this card is just bonkers. This card will enter play without any fear, except maybe Champa the Trickster, and it will stay on the field for a bit longer time simply because, okay, a lot of cards do ignore barrier, but still, the archetypes that don't just will have issues with this card.
Exactly. Still a nice shield for them. And we're moving on with the Super Saiyan 4s. Next up is Vegeta, Prideful Transformation.
Before the Super Saiyan 4, I just want to say that we got some viewers on YouTube as well. Hello, Melvin. And I see that the London Players Guild is also watching. So thanks guys for tuning in.
Shout out to
Hi,
Melvin. I've not
guys.
seen
Shout
you
out.
since our airport trip
Yeah.
together in Brussels, so nice to see you, man.
So any comments on the next one, guys?
Well,
We're still on the Vegeta card, right?
we're still on the
Yeah, yeah.
Vegeta. If
That's what I mean,
anybody
yeah.
wants to
That's what
comment.
I mean.
I mean,
Yeah.
is it better than Trunks or what was the other one? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, I'm screwed here. But I don't think it's better than the other ones that have come out. I mean, the ability to switch card to rest mode is good,
Yeah.
but it's a battle card, and sometimes battle cards can prosper in rest mode. It depends. I think this is okay, but I wouldn't say it's the best out of the ones we've seen so far.
I think a big problem with it that it's a 14K. I think that's. I mean, it's very easy to get rid of. I mean, they gave it a blocker for a reason. I was thinking that a much better way to kind of play the card more, and the players will be playing it more, is that it has a 15K power like this. I'm just a bit skeptical.
But at least this is, I mean, this is basically the same counterplay effect as Crusher Ball. And you need to pay an energy for Crusher Ball. Here,
Voilà.
you don't need to pay energy, and you also get a blocker.
That's
It
good.
definitely, yeah, I mean, it does prevent you from playing other counter cards for the duration of your turn. But if you play this right, you might just get a free Crusher Ball plus a blocker on the field,
True.
regardless of it being 14K.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, moving on. Gotenks going all out. A double
I
strike
like this a
dual
lot.
attack card, yeah.
I like this a
He
lot.
definitely goes all out, yeah.
He
I
does.
think the play with this on turn 3 would be to Union Fusion into the Gotenks. If you're playing the Gotenks variant, go tap 2 to go into one of the other Gotenks, whether it be the crit or the double strike, swing, pitch it, get the Gotenks and Trunks that you lost, get them back, awaken, untap 2, tap 3. If you go again, draw 2 cards, play this. You're essentially getting, if you play the double strike, you're getting 3 double strikes in one turn. If you haven't been hit by a Nimbus or anything like that, it honestly, to me,
Very good.
works really well.
It does. Well, we have another Gotenks card coming up. It's Gotenks, the Power of Fusion.
I mean, it's a draw. I mean, you get. I think if you work it, like I said, with that, you play this, you draw, swing, pitch it, get the Gotenks and the Gotenks and Trunks back. It's worth playing. I like the Gotenks package that we have so far. I think that they might bring out one more Gotenks. I don't know what they do with it, but I like what they've given so far.
Yeah, for this one, you just have to be careful to play around counter plays very, very well, because it really jumps into this. There's a 4th cost, 20K. Yeah, but very, very good, very necessary to the archetype, I think.
Well, the next one, Balma, Devoted Supporter, a counterplay.
I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of a cute card, basically because it also negates the skill of the card that's being played. I mean, that might be useful for some matchups, for example, for Magicabura even. So, no, sorry,
I
Magicabura
think
has
it still
deflect.
goes off. I think it still goes off, and also it has deflect. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. Well, let's just move on to the next one. Another Sin Shenron card,
Oh
Destruction
yeah, I
Incarnate.
played against this today.
So how
This
was
one
it?
really surprised me. I mean, being a blocker and revenge in the 30k that enters play for 1 energy, that's already disgusting enough. On top of it, it has an auto effect which is not once per turn. So if you manage to get this guy on the field, and it's really not that difficult, uh, in the same turn that you actually bring in the 4-drop. So you may choose the battle card, any battle card that your opponent plays, ignoring barrier, negate its skills. It's painful. It's really painful. I mean, if your opponent brings in the big Bardock Ape, he will get his draw. He will rest your card, but he will not have double strike, and that's a big deal. Of course, it means when he's attacking, and still when it dies, he has revenge, so it knocks out the card that knocked him out, and you get to draw 2 cards, and you also get to play 1 negative energy monster Dragon Ball. It just this card, I mean, it should have been a super rare maybe. I'm not sure. It's just too
Yeah.
I
good.
just realized you can play this with the final effect of the leader. That's just wrong.
No, it's
Yes, I know. And you even switch it to active mode at the end of the turn. I mean, I like the fact that it even resets itself. So if it leaves play, you get to play the -1 star, the 1-drop, which gives you the 4-drop for, if I'm not mistaken, a single energy again. So basically, on your next turn for 2 energy, you get to play the 4-drop and then get to play the 9-drop as an EX Evolve again. So it's just good value of a card from a single card. I mean, single 3 cards of the chain.
Yes, but a terrific card. We have another one to see one more of the dragon cards. Haze, Shenron Venomous Mist.
I like this archetype a lot. I'm starting to be won around by it.
It's
Oh, this is
interesting,
so cool.
especially when we see
I
the
mean,
rest of the dragons one day.
are they? Do you reckon they're going to release any more in this set, or do you think that this is it for now, and they'll just keep bringing out different shadow dragons for the next
Well,
2 or 3 sets?
except the
I don't know.
possible secret rare you mentioned, I'm not sure we're seeing any right now.
They could
The
bring out
funny
some
stuff
tons,
is,
right?
yeah, the funny stuff that the negative energy 1 and 2-star balls you can search Sin Shenron or Haze Shenron between cost 2 and 4 or 2 and 3. So we might actually get a Sin Shenron 2-drop and a Haze Shenron 2-drop. Maybe as a tournament pack cards, maybe as dash pack cards, but we will definitely get the 2 drops at some point.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we move on to the extra cards now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
The first one is Dark Dragon Slaying Bullet, a counterplay card with yellow
Yeah,
unison synergy.
yeah, you need to drop 2 cards from your hand, and all of your energy needs to be mana yellow. I don't know if this will be played in the Sin Shenron deck, but in other decks, absolutely, why not? Good
Mhm.
card.
Yeah, it's a solid
Again,
card.
it's a choice. Do you want to play this or Giant Ball? I'd much prefer to play Giant Ball because at least then you draw. Like I know this doesn't let
Yeah.
your opponent's battle card skill go off, but if say for example they're playing the Bardock Ape, you switch it to rest mode. You've already stopped
Yeah.
their playing anyway.
Yeah,
might as
Giant
well
Ball is
play-
better. You can also choose what to do with Giant Ball, so it's nice.
Mm-hmm. And basically, the final card from the set, not counting commons and uncommons, is the Released from Evil card, a counter attack.
Beautiful card. Beautiful card. When I
beautiful
see
call.
Yeah.
when I see ignoring barrier, I'm already in love with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you have
Yeah,
Unison.
but keep in mind it chooses the attacking card. It also can choose a leader, which can include
Exactly.
Gohan.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And check it out. If you have a yellow Unison card in play, it doesn't specify with what cost the Unison card has to be a specified cost, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. Very versatile.
Like it. For 1 cost.
The card is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Even if somebody were to play Peel Off and give the triple attack to Unison. So anything, even the Shenron leader's wish effect, so it just stops
Yeah.
on the first attack.
Yes. Well, we have still our common and uncommon cards. They're basically set apart in more or less 3 archetypes. So let's check them out, right? First
Yeah.
of all, the red cards: the Son Goku Savage Reawakened, the Roshi, the Bulma, the Puar, the Pilaf Machine, the Master Boat, and Pilaf's Castle.
Well, I'm going to start this off by shouting out my teammate Jordan, who made a prediction that he thinks that Bulma is going to be banned within the next 2 ban lists. It's Red Shugesh.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing Red Earthlings, you can literally use this, draw, play a 1-drop. The best 1-drop to play, in my opinion, from this is the Fortune Teller Baba. Play it, combo that, draw again. This card has so many good options to go with it, and it's made Cronoa worth playing again in side decks. So
But
I
they
don't
should
know
have
if you
thought of
made.
that. I mean, I think they should have been thinking about it, and I think that they wanted to bring it back because they know that players love it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be the same. I think it's going to be a very strong, but I don't think it's going to be the same like Shugesh.
I believe that Bandai knew what they were doing with this card, at least for the beginning. Because if you looked at the list of cards which you will get in the black starter deck, there are Chronoas in the starter deck. Yeah. So they explicitly placed the Chronoa, a black 1-drop Chronoa from set 4, into the new black starter deck.
Yeah.
I believe because, of this reason. The second thing that this card also doesn't go off that soon. Both you and your leader need to have 8 life or less. So the ideal thing is maybe, okay, you are awakened. You are at 4 lives. Your opponent is at 4 lives. It does have a restriction, so it might not be that much broken, but the card is definitely powerful. Definitely, because it also gives you extra 5k for the turn with its
Yeah.
main. So it's a super combo. It draws, it plays 1 red Earthling for free, and it also gives +5 to the battle card or unison card. So yeah, it might get banned soon, but still, it is limiting.
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the commons, the Goku Savagery Awaken could be used in, for example, say Freezer Prison. Like, you could stall out your opponent, you could save a whole bunch of life, try and wear them down, tap 5, do a little bit of burn damage, but paying 2 of your it's basically the same as the Raditz SCR, except you're not like paying for a rival to summon a big 40k. That's not
Yeah.
fun. Peel off machine's good. I played with this the other day on Untap. That's fun. The rest of them are okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Roshi even stops boss monsters from attacking.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. The Roshi can be even used in the old Bulma archetype as an extra battle card counter attack, which will be a blocker in the end.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well,
Okay.
let's go to the next set. Next are yellow cards. Well, all of the rest are yellow cards. We have the Son Goku card, the Counterblast Son Gohan, the Son Goten Flash of Brilliance, Son Goten the Eager, Trunks Flash of Brilliance, a lot of brilliance here, and Trunks the Eager.
I like the Son Goku adventure into the unknown. So we got another Krillin basically, but it's a Son Goku GT, which is great.
I think all of the Trunks and Goten cards are worth having because they work perfectly in sync with each other. Like, for example, when I used to play the old Gogeta BR chain, whenever I could remember so many times I had 3 Vegetas in hand and no Gokus. So I was like, I've got all these Vegetas I don't need. So why have I got them? The fact that sometimes you could have 3 or 4 Trunks is like, I'm going to pitch this Trunks, get myself a Goten, and then vice versa. And then with the other ones, it works from the drop area. Being able to get cards back from your drop area is something that's quite rare in this game to your hand, unless you're playing like archetypes that are specific to that. I love this, and I really, really cannot wait to play the Gotenks package in full force with this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the super combo, the Counter Blast on Gohan, is a great card. in a way. You can either draw or you can either KO the attacker if it's, of course, 5 or less or without barrier. And it's just good value. Something like a Shugesh super combo, but you don't need to play a battle card. For example, the Goku's Lineage 3-drop Gohan or the Kid Ku 3-drop, which was a super rare. So you can just choose not to draw a card, but to KO the attacker, like Shugesh.
True.
The Lord.
And we
And
have the last set.
the last set, basically the dragon cards. And
Yeah.
Gotenks still, but the rest of them are dragon cards. So Gotenks
Yeah.
Overwhelming Might, the Sin Shenron Shadow Dragon Leader, but not the leader card, it's a battle card. Another Haze Shenron, the Poison Mancer, Burning Kamehameha, and Negative Energy 1-star and 2-star balls.
Andrew, you
Yeah,
know about this.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw my opponent having two open yellow energies, I didn't know what was going to happen. And then he played a negative, and then he brought the 4-drop, and then he made my leader was in rest mode, and he made it that he cannot attack next turn, which really hurt actually because that's how I draw cards. And also with the negative energies 2-star ball, he brings the Haze Shenron, who has critical, so you can drop a Champa on him and. Or a Kai, and it's a double strike crit, and then you can X evolve into a double striker, which we saw before. I think it's a very, very strong mechanic, and you should really try at least to play against it, just so you prepare yourself. But yeah.
Well, if we're done with commenting on these cards, we basically concluded the reveals, and now we can move on to the ban list, right?
How surprising!
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. There are very interesting cards for the ban list, and we can open with the first one, which subjectively I am glad for. Objectively, I don't think it could have stayed, but I lost many matches against Gogeta Hero Revived. Actually, last time Andrea and I met together in real life, I remember a very nice defeat from him. I usually played decks that create walls, counterattacks. So I played Janemba, counters all around. But then this guy comes into play, and well, goodbye.
Goodbye. But
Yeah.
now he gets a goodbye.
Yeah. It's
Goodbye.
interesting that it took 2 years for Bandai to ban this card.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people are happy for it to be banned. I see the reason why it is banned, finally, or not. But honestly, people started to know how to work around against this, and it lost kind of its touch with some newer releases, maybe outshadowing it in a way. So I'm not sure if this was a necessary ban, but still, I see the reason why it was banned.
Do you think
So
it's too
okay,
much?
I'm a bit. I mean, people found already ways to play it earlier, but let's be honest. Uh, a lot of a very few people used the Union Fusion effect. People usually played in more archetypes for 7 energy, or of course for world peace, etc. The Invoker archetype used Gogeta definitely to its full potential. But to be honest, Invoker can play without Gogeta, and in some instances even better than. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sad that the card got banned because let's be honest, it didn't see a lot of play recently.
Not lately,
But still, I understand why it's banned because a lot of people will always come back to this card as your safe bet boss monster.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
moving
think with
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
sorry.
Charlie. Go, Charlie.
I just want to put my 2 cents forward and say there's 2 reasons for me that I'm upset that this is gone. Firstly, it kind of devalues a lot of older sets in that way, because if you look at Miraculous Revival in terms of valuability now, there wasn't much going for it at the moment. All the SRs from that set weren't worth a lot. The only thing people were really looking for was Hero Revived, if they wanted to get copies of that, if they didn't want to buy the set that it came in with the Gogeta BR leader. It it really makes it people think, why would I even want to go near any sealed product of Miraculous Revival, because the best card from the entire set is not even viable anymore. And
Yeah.
Now they will all want Yamcha.
See, that's the thing. I
Okay.
think the SPR version of Yamcha now might be the most valuable card from that set.
It's really sad to see that the Bandai actually destroyed the entire set 5. I mean, they've killed off the desire mechanic. They banned a lot of desire cards from that set. Now they're banning even the only card which was being played from that set. So set 5 at the moment maybe seems like it never existed. I mean, okay, we have the Yamcha 100%. From the yellow, there is nothing that is also worth mentioning. So, and from the other cards, of course, from green. I mean, the blue archetype, the Janemba archetype from set 5 doesn't even use those cards. So basically, Bandai nullified the entire set 5 with this card.
Well,
Yeah.
you got a point there. Well, let's move on. We have another one. It's Android 21 Violent Predator. Basically, the reason was they banned it to promote. Well, the card was used to promote the use of multicolored cards, but actually they want to see more monocolored decks. That's their reasoning. But still, I guess it's okay because wasn't really playable at this point. So not sure.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
see
mean,
why this and Gogeta 7 couldn't be put to 1. Personally,
Huh.
does nobody think that these two cards, even though they were good, could not have been put to 1? Like,
yeah,
it would have made a bit of sense.
but what's the point then? Because it could end up in your life, or you find yourself needing to charge it, or it's just a one card in your deck. It's not like an
Yeah.
SCR. It's not as good as a secret rare, but to have it as one boss monster, I don't know, to play so many things. Well, Gogeta,
The-
yeah, but this one, I don't think so.
The main
See, I
problem is
think
that
there's a lot of
both have.
security.
Sorry. Say.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
my 2 cents were basically that both cards have deflect. That's maybe one of the main issues, amongst
Possibly.
other things. But just as Bandai killed set 5 with Gojira, they're almost like killing the entire multicolor block. So set 7 from set 9 with this card in a way, literally saying we want you to play monocolors again.
No, I don't think it's that
Don't.
strict, but yeah.
It's not
I
that
don't think
strict,
it's that
but
strict.
it kind of sends the message in a way like that.
Hmm.
Because I
promoted
realize they want new
part of
products
the
to
year.
be sold, and
Like, they've promoted
just it for me.
multicolor since set 7, so they've given a lot of love to that. I feel like mono's kind of been left in the dust, and set 10 has been the way of them showing, oh, we still do love mono decks. We're giving mono decks a ton of support. But then I can also see the reasoning behind it of, well, if we give all this support, there's one card that just wipes out an entire card. So I
Absolutely.
see that,
Absolutely.
but I think it could have been 1.
Quite possibly.
Okay.
Well, next one is Begrudging Respect Piccolo. They actually. Yes, Benzi, please.
I believe we can comment both the Piccolo and the next band card, the Force Ejection Mass Saiyan, as a whole, because they were both created for the same reason, to counter the same archetypes and same cards, and in the end they were banned for the identical reason. It's just a matter of how you play Piccolo and how you play Force Ejection Mass Saiyan. But I don't know. I mean, they banned already objection. They banned cards which ramp you, and now they're banning cards which don't ban you, which don't ramp you, just so you can ramp with the 2 or 3 archetypes or cards that you are allowed to ramp in this game currently.
The only card that's left for them is Dende, and nobody ever plays the Dende from set 5 because you basically, if you want to do it in that turn, you've got to tap 3.
Yeah, then it
And I'm not
costs too
tapping
much.
3 to get rid of 1 energy.
Yeah, it's true.
But-
This costs too much.
Yeah, but again, now Dende is the only card left alive for countering ramp decks, and it might see play again, especially because it has deflect. It protects you in a way. I mean, it protects itself in a way. I know paying 3 energy is too much, but consider the fact that that then they says that you only need your opponent to ramp once. It's not a counter ramp. It's just, oh, you ramp once. Yeah, yeah, I'll just play this. So it then this still leaves the room for you to just lie still. Okay, oh, he ramped. I can play Dende in 5 turns if I want to, for example.
In a way.
That's maybe the problem with Dende, and then might have, if they wanted to continue with ramping, with the ramp mechanic, they might have even left out Dende. They could have left out Dende.
But they could have. It's interesting that he's still not banned with the rest, because if they really wanted to stop this, they could with that. But maybe because it's just not seeing playing for now. So.
But it might see play now.
Well,
now it might see play.
Now it might. Well, it remains to be seen, I guess. Let's move on to the penultimate banned card. It's the Plan for Destruction.
This upset me a lot. This really upset me.
Yeah.
Because I wanted Zamasu to be good, and I was seeing all these cards coming out, and I was thinking Zamasu has viability now. I've got my metal Zamasu sat up there that has not been touched once. I wanted to do something with it, and now this has been taken away. It's like, do I even bother? This was one of the staples for making a ramp Zamasu deck. So
when that card came out, I was saying Zamasu was gonna get good, but now
it's dead.
No.
I mean, I do realize why they banned it. I mean, in conjunction with the super combo Zeno, it just ramps you for 0 effort for a super combo and 1 energy. I mean, it's 0 effort to gain extra energy early on, and I see the reason why they banned it, but it's sad to see that they banned it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, the last one?
The last one is Turtles the Unstoppable Ghost Warrior.
A lot of people have been saying that even without this in VJX, it's still good. This isn't really needed.
I think so. I can't wait to play that deck. Really, I mean, the VJX is going to be great, and Turles just removes the very super high speed that the deck could have, and kind of lowers it down to the ground, but it's still going to be very, very powerful.
It is.
I just feel bad that I'm not going to be able to play my OG Demigra anymore.
I'm sorry, Andrea. Well, not really, but.
Really? Yeah, I know.
I mean, I do like the reasoning that the Bandit themselves gave for banning this card. This card has been used to take down your opponent's life faster than originally intended. I mean, you gave it dual attack, 15k. How did you not foresee
what
this?
What did you expect, exactly?
And we believe this card could create an unenjoyable gameplay experience. Well, it did. Yeah, good job. It did.
At least a one-sided one. But that's...
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we're done with the ban list, and all that's rest is to see the erratas. So let's go. We have how many? 5 cards, right? And the first one, I think it's okay. The Goku Black. Well, since we saw what was actually banned, so this was errata, so I don't really care anymore.
Too much ramp. Too much ramp.
Too much ramp, I agree, but now we no longer have a viable Goku Black leader, and I am upset by that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, well, we lost the other cards. This is errata, so yeah.
With this errata, you literally have the option either to choose Zeno Unisan's effect, or to use Goku Black's effect. You can do both. It just doesn't allow you to play the other if you play one. So I get it, but yeah, it's sad to see that the guy that had to make the best comeback in this set will not get it.
It's sad as well when you think about it, because Zeno, a lot of people were calling for that to be banned before it even came out, and I'm like, well, what's the point in Bandai printing a card if it's not going to even see play upon release? So it made sense to do this, and now I can see why they're doing it, because they can use Goku Black's effect for as long as you want, and then use Zeno for late game. But even then, I don't think a lot of people are going to play this leader now it's been hit.
Yes, yeah, especially.
I'm sure they won't. Well, next up is already another Unison Errata, the Supreme Kai of Time, Unison of History.
I
I
don't know
mean,
what
the only change is that they said if you take a life, then add one card from your hand to the life. For it was yeah, used just to I mean, the card is what, a common, uncommon. Yeah, and basically, if the wording was left as intended, the uncommon card would give you life if you were to play. Um, Paragus and Chile Limo leaders, which prevent you from taking lives. I mean, okay, I can't take a lot, but I can add a card from my hand to the life wall. I mean, it's reasonable that they made the change and such a logical change. So that's mainly.
It
Well, now
makes
I know
sense.
that. 'Cause I didn't have a clue how that worked, but now I do. It's like, yeah, definitely. Like, if
Right.
someone can get 9 or more life, jeez.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
next up, it's Son Goku Warrior that crossed time.
Again, they just hate
Did,
ramp.
Yep,
Yeah.
ramping
okay,
as well already.
but let's face it. If they didn't specify that when this card is removed by an opponent's skill, you can use Union Potara and it will be removed from play. And when you Union Potara, you put it in energy. That's bonkers. So, okay, I do realize why they have to limit it to an opponent's skill because there would be too many ways, Union Potara, the obvious way for this archetype,
And
to
notice the
just
release.
remove him from play.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, moving on, we have the Surgical Leader, Super Saiyan God Son Goku Surge of Divinity. Well, this basically, the Errata looks okay. He doesn't have any defense, but the draw power is still here.
I've
yeah, but it
had
took
people
away his
text me.
defensive capabilities.
I've had people text me over the last 3 or 4 days saying this leader's dead now, and I'm like, how? It's still the same. You just
So
don't do it
good.
on your opponent's
So,
turn. You can still wipe. You can still swing for crit. You still draw a lot on your unawakened side. This leader's not finished, without a shadow of a doubt. It's just a little tiny change that needed to be made.
also imagine you can play the Championship 2020 pack Bardock, which allows you to even use his surge effect more times than the actual two. So the one drop that negates the attacks, and then you can use him.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose Mattia for a while?
It seems we have. I sent him a message. We'll see if he's going to.
He was probably gonna come back.
Yeah, but we still have only one card left, so he's not missing much. But still, it would be nice for him to be here for the outro. Well, and speaking about the last cards, it's one that hasn't seen much play. The Piccolo card with a fresh set of new crutches. There we go.
Yeah, I
Put
mean,
this against any hand destruction deck now, and he's done. And I'm happy. As a slug player, I've always been laughed at by Piccolo players and say, "Why don't you just play this? This is far better. Slug is outdated." You look at this now, and I think, yeah, Slug's far better than you because I can draw, I can take life, I can make plays to make sure you drop cards. Yeah, he still has his effect on the unawakened side, but if you're coming up against a deck that has a lot of crit power, you're not gaining the life that you need to get the extra hand advantage when you go into your Surge Awakening. This leader has lost so much value off of one errata, and I'm glad to see it go.
Yes. Maybe if they left the errata to when this card attacks, draw a card, it might have then leave. It might have left Piccolo with maybe more to go around with because at this
well,
point you only draw cards at the beginning of your turn and you can rearrange it. Other than that, if he were to draw cards when he attacks, it would prevent Piccolo from being a stall deck or a stall leader or a passive leader itself. At least he would have to attack. Your opponent could use something on your opponent's turn while defending. Yeah. I mean
I can agree with that
that might
because
have been
you're giving your opponent hand advantage by swinging with a normal card. you're not being able to, like, but actually, to be fair, if they were to swing with it, they could still use Special Beam Cannon to drop a card from their opponent's hand. Even if they take the life, they're not exactly plussing, so that does make sense. But obviously now they've just crippled it.
I think
Yeah.
I think the biggest value that this little leader will have in the future is actually only ramp, because you will still be able to play your SS4 Vegeta from set 8 secret rare on your turn 4. If you burn yourself enough to 3 life, put one more energy down, play the SCR, or this is just one combo that I'm thinking of, and I finished so many games in that way. But it's true that this one card that he was supposed to draw, it's a big miss.
I'm just happy to see the back of it, to be honest, because this was the deck that I lost. Because when I did Salford, I think 2 of my 3 losses were Piccolo, and I hated the fact that they just weren't swinging at me, and it was like I got frustrated. But now that it's gone, I feel like I have had a little bit of redemption.
Yeah, I mean, it basically it isn't interactive in any way, and it pluses so much. If it were to be interactive with when it discards attacks, draw a card, then fine. But just for sitting there and being gorgeous and drawing a lot of cards, not attacking with it, it's perfectly fine that it got errata. Maybe in a not so fashioned way, but I mean, the leader might still see play. It won't be just a dead leader now. I mean,
Yeah. And I guess that's it, guys, right?
That's it.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
it. Another episode, basically a double issue with the reveals and bans and erratas, but we come to a close. I would,
On to the next.
yes.
I cannot wait for the SCRs for this set, because now I think now it's just around the corner. All we've got is the SPRs and SCRs left now. I think they've
Yes.
done all the reveals.
And
Right,
we're
so
gonna make
how
sure
many-
to cover them like really here. So
How many did they announce this time? Was it 3 or is it
3 secret rares,
3,
yes.
right? Mhm.
3?
Well,
I'm interested what might be the third, but okay, that's a story for another time. We do know that it's gonna be Gogeta. We suspect it's gonna be Sim Shenron. What's the third? We don't know. We will have to wait
yes.
to be
So
continued.
and so keep a lookout for the new content, and which we will be featuring here. And that's really now it. I guess, guys, Andrea, Charlie, me, Philip, and Mattia, we're signing out, and see you next time, guys.
See you next time. Bye
Peace.
bye.
Bye.
Thanks for
Thanks for
watching.
watching.